It was May 24, 2020, day 26 of our quarantine. All of our hope of getting home grew cold and dark, just like the gloomy clouds over us. We spent our day waiting, and waiting. All of a sudden, when I'm about to sleep, I receive an email, and to my surprise, it was my Bureau of Quarantine certificate stating that I had completed my quarantine and tested negative from RT-PCR tests or swab test. It was the happiest day of my quarantine. I had the same excitement and joy when I passed the board exam. Finally, I can be cleared and be released this quarantine. After sharing the good news to my quarantine mates, I packed up my things, even though I still didn't know when OWA will pick me up. So I did pack my things in case they arrive without notice. And at dawn, around 3:30 a.m., they arrived, as I was expecting without notice. Therefore, I immediately geared up and swiftly head downstairs without even taking a shower. On the bus, I already prepared myself for a long journey. But to my surprise, after a few minutes, we were dropped at PITX Paranaque Interchange Terminal. That was 4 a.m. and we were just asked to wait for our connecting bus.
One eternity later.
And we're still here, at PITX. And I said to myself, what is this? They had released us in our quarantine facility just to be stranded for hours after hours here at PITX. There was no more social distancing due to the volume of OFW dumped here. What happened was, this was the first day that they conducted this massive repatriation, due to the ultimatum given to them by the President. Therefore, what they had done is they just dumped all the OFW who had their quarantine certificates here at PITX. Then only on this moment, they made a plan on how to send us off. So the solution they had come up is they will send off first majority of OFW in a certain province, then the next majority. So if there's only a handful of you in your province, then you'll be sent home last. Just like what happened to us. We waited for 11 hours.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Finally, we boarded our bus and headed home after 11 hours of waiting. Tears almost fell upon my eyes as I knew that I am getting closer at home at last. We arrived at Batangas port around 5:30 p.m. and boarded the ship at 8:30 p.m. The one good effect of this COVID-19 is this social distancing. As you can see, there are only a handful of us in this ship, which is way better than the previous crowded ship. We arrived at the island of Mindoro at 11 p.m. There, we were welcomed by OWA and swiftly assisted us. They checked and collected our documents, such as passport, quarantine certificate, resident certificate, and government ID. Then we filled up some forms. However, to our surprise, they brought us up at a quarantine facility. We said to ourselves, another quarantine? In here, we spend the night with others. On the next day, each of our City Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office came and arranged our papers for release. And finally, we were allowed to head home. And home sweet home at last. And here, I have to undergo a 14-day home quarantine. That's okay. At least I am home. Finally, after all the struggles we had faced, there's no other place sweeter than home. So, that was my quarantine story. Even though I had some disappointments on the quality of service and mismanagement of our government agencies that handled us, I am still grateful and thankful that our government had this repatriation program. So thank you to the faithful individuals from OWA, Philippine Coast Guard, Philippine Red Cross, Bureau of Quarantine, Nice Hotel Riot Cubao, specifically to Mr. Joel Manago for assisting our concerns. Even most of it is out of his duties. Thank you also to the prayers of family, friends, brethren, and most of all, thank you to our Lord Jesus Christ for protecting us against this COVID-19. To my fellow OFW that are planning to come home, hear this one piece of advice. Unless you are terminated or forced to go on unpaid leave, better stay abroad. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment down below if you had the same struggle that I had or had completely opposite experience. Again, thank you for watching. Feel free to hit that like button and subscribe. See you on the next video.